like to turn today's warranty management and customer services best practices for manufacturers webcast over to your presenter, Scott Mangelson, CRM practice leader with Armanino. Scott, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Look forward to speaking with you for a few minutes today. So what we're going to try and cover today is just a quick overview of CRM today and tomorrow. There's some very exciting things happening in the world of CRM. I want to share a few of those with you. And then I'll talk about kind of what I see as the top 5 best practices for manufacturers and the kinds of things that they're doing to improve customer service in working with both their customers as well as their trading partners and suppliers. Then I'll take you through a case study of an actual company that we're working with that's deploying some solutions that we'll discuss about. And then I'll end with an actual demonstration of some of that capability that's being deployed in Dynamics CRM. So just a couple of really interesting things. One of the things that we're seeing is the tremendous growth in the market for CRM systems. In the past, the largest enterprise applications that were purchased by companies were referred to as their ERP systems or their back office accounting and manufacturing execution systems. But we're seeing a very huge uptick in CRM. And if you can see the graph there to the left, you'll see that CRM is the second line down there that's going to be crossing over the ERP line in 2017. Today's market size for CRM is about $20 billion in software and services, and it's going to be in the next 4 years over $36 billion according to Gartner. And what this tells me is the importance that companies are putting on CRM. And there's a lot of places in where these companies are making those kinds of investments. Traditionally, CRM has been used for things like Salesforce automation, marketing lead management, and case management. But we're really seeing an evolution in the way that companies are using and deploying Microsoft CRM systems. And today what they're looking at is to take CRM systems and really driving them more as a transaction management system. So just like companies use their ERP system to manage transactions for manufacturing and for shipping and for accounting, CRM systems more and more are being used for those same kinds of transaction management systems around the sales process and the customer service process. Companies are implementing actual methodologies that are standardizing their sales process across their organizations. And they're using customer service in some very unique and interesting ways that I'll be talking about from a customer service standpoint. They're also using CRM systems as their hub for collaboration. Not only collaboration internally with their fellow sales, marketing, and customer service individuals within the enterprise, but reaching outside of the enterprise and collaborating with their customers, being able to get real-time communications, screen sharing, and things like that. I'll give you a quick example. We're working with a company that is a plastics manufacturer. They do plastics casings for products that ship in retail stores. And one of the things they have to do is they have to be able to create a quote by looking at a CAD drawing. And oftentimes it's kind of sent through an email and comes back 3 or 4 days later. But now with some of the collaboration tools built into CRM, they can actually do real-time presence and understand if their customer's online, ping them real quickly, have them look at the CAD drawing, finish up the quote, and get it over to them much faster. So using tools like Yammer and Link and Skype are all really exciting tools that are helping to speed the sales process and actually improve the way that sales and marketing and customer service people are being more collaborative with their customers. The last thing that we're seeing is that marketing is continuing to have a huge influence on CRM. It's estimated by Gartner that in 2017 that the CMO will spend more on IT than the Chief Information Officer does. And that's because they're buying marketing automation tools, social management tools, and other kinds of campaign management applications that are all embedded within CRM to help the marketing organization ensure that they're getting the return on investment for those millions of dollars that many companies spend on marketing. So I think one of the interesting things to talk about too is not only where CRM is today, but where it is that companies are investing around CRM. And so it's very often that we'll implement a CRM system for our customers, and we tailor it and configure it for manufacturers, the specific business processes that they have. But very quickly after that, I get a couple of questions. And the first two questions I get are around mobility. and marketing automation. I would say that probably about 40% of every one of the CRM systems that we now implement has some form of marketing automation integrated with it. And marketing automation are the tools that do things like email blasts and understand who's on your website and help take web forms that are filled out and send those information directly to salespeople for leads. And then ultimately, it's going to score those individuals that have interacted with your company in a digital environment, and record that information into CRM so that you have a real good visibility into the kinds of information that your customers already have about you. Mobility is huge. As you know, Microsoft is now in the devices and services business, and the new products and services that we're going to continue to see from Microsoft are very exciting. But every company has multiple devices that their individuals are working with, whether it's iPads or Microsoft Surface or Android phones. Getting access to the CRM systems through those mobile devices is a critical component of most CRM deployments. We're also seeing a huge interest in this idea of sales intelligence. And sales intelligence is the ability to use tools that gather all of the information out on the internet that you would typically have to do manually by going to your by going to your LinkedIn profile and looking at individuals, by then going to the website and downloading the 10K and doing all the research on the company's website. Well, sales intelligence goes out and gathers all that information for you and brings it to you in a very easy to assimilate view of your customer's information. So now you can get really important data about your customer, but you also get real-time updates about acquisitions and mergers and management changes that allow you to be a more informed sales and marketing person. It also allows you to have connections so that you can understand who it is that you are connected to in your extended network that might be able to help you influence that sale. The last one is being able to have a fully unified enterprise application. And what I mean by that is in this bullet point here around ERP integration. But it's really that the front office and the back office aren't separated business processes, that an order needs to go over to the accounting system and the salespeople need to know about shipping. And being able to have that 360-degree view of your customer, regardless of whether the transaction happens in CRM or in your accounting and shipping system, all of that needs to be have the information ready for people to be able to make decisions. And Microsoft is continuing to make very exciting investments in collaboration, as I mentioned. So we're with the investment with Skype and the use of Link and the social tools around Yammer to be able to manage the collaborations and the communications with customers and prospects is really the future of where we're seeing things in Microsoft CRM. So let's talk about some best practices, specifically now focused on how companies are using Microsoft CRM for customer service. And the first thing I wanted to mention was a study that I saw from Forrester in terms of what lighting manufacturers are doing to augment their CRM systems with the ability to manage customer service and to improve customer satisfaction. And the first thing is that 62% of all manufacturers now have some kind of a call center where people can call in and get information about products or orders that have shipped or backlog, and being able to have individuals that can very quickly look up that information in a CRM system is an important best practice. We're seeing about 50% of leading manufacturers are also using websites for self-service. And this allows companies to go in and submit cases or to make inquiries through a website and have much of the communication automated and notify individuals within your company that one of your customers is on your website and needs some level of customer service. Email continues to be a huge requirement, right? You send an email, it comes into an email queue, it's picked up by a customer service rep, and that email is handled and resolved for the customer. 24% of all manufacturers are now using social media for customer service. I thought this was really interesting. You know, when we think about social media, we think about Facebook and Twitter and, Instagram, but there are a number of very important enterprise class social media interactions where companies can monitor the sentiment of how people are feeling about their new products and product releases, What are people saying about the level of customer service that they're getting? And to being able to monitor that and interact and actually have conversations with the marketplace in terms of ensuring that your perspective and that your message is getting out there through different social media channels is becoming a more and more important way of communicating and ensuring that your customers are satisfied with the products and services that you're offering. And then finally, about 22% of manufacturers also have some self-service knowledge base. This is where you put FAQs and the ability for customers to go out and actually help self-serve themselves when it comes to customer service and have them resolve many of their own customer service questions without ever having to talk to a customer service representative. So the second best practice I want to talk about is this idea of using both a customer and a partner portal. So CRM, Microsoft CRM supports a customer portal. There's no extra charge to be able to take your CRM information and place that out on a portal. And many times companies are using these portals for things like FAQs that I just mentioned, allow customers to submit cases and have those cases then come into a customer service queue to be able to support either all of their customers and prospects that are coming to their website. And what we're seeing is that this ability to manage self-service is really proving to really reduce the overhead cost of customer service organizations, but it's also increasing customer satisfaction because it's allowing for faster real-time resolution to the questions that many customers are having. So the third kind of best practices is managing performance. We're working right now with a very large manufacturer of consumer goods that has a call center of about 200 call center agents, and most of the inquiries that come into them are through email. And so they're managing a couple of thousand emails a day. And the most important thing for them is to be able to measure how quickly they're able to get those emails, assess the problem, and get them resolved. Many times without ever having to talk to the customer, but by getting a satisfactory response back to an email. But the only way that they're able to do that is really to measure their performance. And so this Microsoft Dynamics CRM supports the ability to be able to have really dynamic dashboards and information that are presented to management so that they can monitor their workload and make sure that they're allocating enough resources to be able to support the level of customer satisfaction and performance that are the goals that they've set for themselves. And my recommendation is really just start with the basics, right? The first thing you want to know is what volume of customer cases are we really getting? It's amazing to me how many companies that I work with that really have 2 or 3 customer service reps or someone on the order desk, and they're the people at the front lines fielding all of these customer inquiries, but there's no place to really record them and really understand what is the volume of customer inquiry are we having, and are there other things that we can do to make sure that we are first measuring how much we're getting and then how quickly can those get resolved. The second thing is, what type of cases are we getting? Are we getting inquiries about products? Are we getting inquiries about returning product? Are the inquiries about a problem with a product? And so being able to now not only know how many inquiries we're getting, but what type of an inquiry we're getting is very important. The third one is, where are those cases coming from? Right? Understanding whether your customers prefer to interact with you over the phone, over the web, over email, through chat on your website. All of those things are very important to understand how and when and why your customers want to interact with you, so you can set up the systems to be able to support the way in which they prefer to interact with you. And then finally, kind of this idea of when, how long does it take for a customer to submit a question or have a problem that they feel like they get a response back. And to be honest with you, I think one of the most important things is really getting that initial response out that lets a customer know that you've heard from them, that you acknowledge that they've got a question, and that you're on it to be able to resolve it. And as long as you continue to keep that dialogue going, that's one of the most important things in customer satisfaction. I think customers understand it may take some time for resolution, but if they don't hear from you, that is the most frustrating thing. And CRM helps to automate much of that communication and remove that burden from individuals and use systems to be able to do that. So the fourth best practice I'd want to talk about for a few minutes is this ability to use email queues. And so we're seeing that companies are setting up, a number of different email queues so that when an email comes into your company, it can be automatically routed to specialists that have skill sets to be able to resolve those questions. So for example, if there's a sales inquiry, it may go into a queue where an inside sales or a pre-sales person can ask her those questions. If it has to do with a product question, it can be routed to a product expert. Or if it is a question that has to do with an order, maybe someone in the ordering department can get those emails. And so it automatically kind of pre-sorts and speeds the time for resolution, because it's not coming into a general mailbox and then someone has to figure out what's the problem and then getting it off to the right person, which really causes delay. So there's also abilities within the system that as soon as an email does come in, or it's been routed to an expert for resolution, that they can be notified through email or some other type of a notification, a task, or even an appointment on their calendar that notifies them that they have this case and they need to get it resolved. One of the other really cool features for in customer service around this ability to support email queues is the ability to use dialog boxes, so that once you do get the customer on the phone, if that needs to happen, that you can have a standard set of responses and a standard set of questions that you can go through and make sure you gather all the right information up front by kind of going through this checklist, if you will, and then recording all of that information automatically into CRM so that you can much more quickly resolve the customer inquiries, and doing so in a standard way and leveraging the best practices that you've learned across your customer service organization. So finally is number 5, and that is looking at marketing automation. I think this is a really interesting one because people think about marketing automation from a marketing standpoint, right? We're going to talk, we're going to communicate to our prospects, we're going to try and sell them product. But how often do customers want to send out product alerts or product announcements to your current customers or product updates? And you're leveraging a marketing automation tool to be able to communicate with your customers and drive them to your website to get more product information, or to teach them about some of the new products that you might be offering that are either a cross-sell or an upsell to a product that you already have. A marketing automation can be a powerful tool to know which of those customers have opened those emails, how many have been driven to your website to get more information. Maybe they looked at a pricing page. That would certainly be an interesting thing for a customer service rep to go and make a call on that customer and just see if there's any additional interest or questions that they might be able to answer. And that level of awareness of how your customers are behaving drives improved customer service as well. So think about marketing automation from a customer service standpoint as well. All right, so in summary, we're seeing that by leveraging some of these best practices, manufacturers are able to reduce their overall cost of support. They're seeing significant improvements in customer satisfaction because they're supporting customers the way and where they want to be supported. They're able to make continuous improvement because they're measuring and understanding how their business is performing and how their business is changing over time, so they can add the right resources and the right technologies to support customers. And in the end, what that means is that now customer support personnel and customer service managers can be freed up to focus on more of the critical support inquiries as opposed to just kind of the mundane of weeding through emails or taking phone calls. Because customers are doing much more self-service, they're really able to focus on the most important things. So let me give you an example. So we're working with a company up in Washington, Digital Control, who is an electronics manufacturer, and they make electronic measuring equipment for the construction industry. And they came to us about 6 months ago and said that we are supporting thousands of product repairs every year that either will get damaged in the field or customer needs some kind of an assistance with the product, and so they'll need to send it back. And they were managing this entire process, 30 or 40 returns a day in spreadsheets, and it just started to get out of control. And so they decided they needed to standardize and systematize what they were doing. And so we suggested that they take a look at a warranty management and product repair solution that we deployed in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. I'm going to have an opportunity to show that to you in just a few minutes. But basically, it can track the products that they have sold to their customers, and then whether it's under warranty or not, and how they would recommend to the customer to get that product repaired. So they are now using that today, and it's significantly increased their ability to support the increased volume. So when we kind of look at your standard customer service business process, and this is kind of what I'll show you a little bit about today, but CRM is kind of that standard hub, if you will, that we start with. And the first thing that happens is an inquiry comes in. So whether that comes in through the phone or an email or a web portal, and that case is either automatically or it's reviewed by a customer service manager and routed to the appropriate individual for assignment and resolution of that case. In this case, we're going to talk about returning materials, and we'll talk to you about some of the options that can be supported in terms of how company manufacturers are supporting the material return process. But one of the most important things is to be able to understand from your shipping systems and your accounting systems what products do they have, and is it under warranty? And so being able to look at the device history, maybe there's been components in the device that customer has that have been swapped out over time, and you'll want to know what components have been replaced over time. In some cases, we may even need to send a field service technician out. The product is too big to send back, or it's implemented and installed. And so to do that, we need to send and schedule a field service technician, and I'll show you how Dynamics can support that. But ultimately, those products are returned and repaired, or the technician goes out and fixes the problem, and we're able to satisfactorily resolve that case. So that's about what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start by going into CRM, and I'll show you some dashboards and some kind of overall information around how companies can look at their warranties and the products that have been installed at their customers. And then we'll check to see if the product happens to be under warranty. We'll return that product for repair. We may also need to send a replacement out, and then we'll set up a work order for that repair and assess the root cause, so that you can start to understand how and why your products are coming back, and if there was some product failure, what was the cause of that. And then we'll go and resolve that case. So with that, I'm going to jump into the software and show you what it looks like. Okay, so what you're looking at here is Microsoft Dynamics CRM. For those of you that have not seen the application before, I'll just start with a little quick housekeeping in terms of the navigation. So first of all, you'll see that up at the top there's a kind of a familiar ribbon that all of the Microsoft products have, whether you're using Excel or Word or Outlook. Microsoft CRM has this same view. And then there are a set of folders or data elements here along the side. And I'm kind of working here in the workplace area, which are kind of my favorites, if you will, so I can get my customers and some few things around sales and marketing and customer service. But if I want to get more detail, for example, in the sales area, I can click on the sales area, and I can drill into all kinds of things that are associated with the sales organization and that are specific to getting things around my sales team. But I'm going to go back to this dashboard first and just kind of give you a little orientation here. So what we've got set up here is many companies have warranties that expire after a year, and they're able to go back and sell extended warranties. So as a customer service organization, you're going to want to know, when did that warranty start? When did it end? Who is your customer? And you're going to want to get on the phone and call that customer and give them an assessment early, maybe 30 or 60 or 90 days before that warranty expires, to give them an opportunity to repurchase an extended warranty. And this drives pretty significant revenue for a number of companies that we work with to be able to get that kind of visibility. And so this is kind of an automated way to be able to know when are those warranties expiring. You may also want to see how certain products are performing in the marketplace. So where are my big sellers, and where have companies purchased this? And we can actually go in here and sort this by customer, or by product line, and be able to see what and where these products are being sold. We also want to take a look at what is the total cost of my warranty. Dynamics CRM can track the cost of repairs and the labor that goes into it. What's the cost of sending a field service technician out to fix a product under warranty? And you can begin to tell and see whether your warranty is driving real value, or whether you need to increase the price of extended warranties and things like that. And then you can see down here we also have a report that takes a look at some of the other installed products, maybe by customer, and so we can actually drill in and look at the actual product by serial number and to get access to that. So lots of great information around just kind of getting a quick snapshot about how are things working from a warranty standpoint. I may also want to be able to go in, I'm going to just check on this one here real quick and see if I can't just get an overall idea of the number of cases that my customer service team is managing. So you can see here that David has 26 cases and Ken only has 2. Maybe it's time for me to kind of reallocate some of these cases and redistribute the workload, because David seems to be taking the lion's share there. I can also look at the different cases in terms of the type of case. If I wanted to expand this out and look at it bigger, I can just click on that. So you can see I've got 16 cases that are that are depot repair. I've got some here that are sending field technicians out. Some of these are just standard case inquiries, but I kind of get an idea of the mix of the type. If you remember back in terms of the best practices we were talking about a few minutes ago, what type of case are we getting, and where do we need to put our resources? All right, so let's go in and start taking a look at some of these cases. So let's go specifically look at this idea around returning a product through what we call a depot repair, or a return material authorization. So this is a view of all of my different cases that I have in the system, and this is all of them that I have. If I wanted to just look at cases kind of that are specific to me, I can look at my own cases, or cases that have been resolved in the last 7 days. I can look at just cases that are specific for RMAs. But in this case, I want to go and I want to look at this field service case right here that I've already set up for you. So we'll take a look at how this works. So this is the case management form, and you'll notice that the form has the ability to scroll down. It has different sections here. You can see this is the general section and the depot repair section, but I can scroll all the way down if I'd like. But I also have the ability to leverage these tabs right here, and so I can click on a tab and go right to the case assignment and click down here and see that Christine Mack is the owner of this. Is there an engineer that I need to assign to it, for example? Is there a date to need to follow up? So the navigation makes it really easy to be able to jump back and forth, either to scroll down or to be able to use the tabs up here. So what happens when a case first comes in, we can identify where this case came from. In this case, the customer called us up. Armanino was the customer, and Christine at Armanino is the person that's got this question about the product. And it looks like this micro drive that the manufacturer had shipped to Armanino is not working anymore. So the first thing that the customer service rep would do is say, well, let's go in and take a look at the installed products. What have we shipped to Armanino? And so we're going to go in, open that up, and we're going to take a look. Oh, looks like we've got 6 or 7 different products here with serial numbers. And in particular, we're concerned about this micro drive right here. The other thing we might want to know, is this product under warranty? So you can see that it is under warranty. The warranty started on January, and it's going to expire at the end of the year. And now that we're in October, it might be good to kind of mention that we do have an extended warranty on this micro drive that they might want to consider. And in fact, when I select the micro drive, the CRM automatically goes back into the accounting system and looks to see that this product is under warranty, so I get an automatic checkbox. It shows me what the warranty is. If I wanted to go into the warranty, I could take a look at that warranty and see if there's any particular warranty clauses. Looks like they've got 24-hour on-site repair. They have some extended parts coverage, and we can see, again, some of the specific information about that warranty. One of the other really important things that we do, what we work with medical device companies, is the FDA requires whenever a part comes back or a customer files a customer complaint, a report needs to be collected and report that back to the FDA. So if the customer service rep understands and indicates that this is a product complaint, what they do is they can check this little box right here and then go over to the product complaint form and actually fill out a product complaint. And this is the beginning of the FDA process for reporting. And so they can talk about complaints are required by the FDA to actually have sequential complaint IDs. You can see when the incident occurred, who was notified and when, what was the problem. And you can begin to look at some of the regulatory information about, was this product life-threatening? Did it require hospitalization? Did permanent damage occur? And once this complaint form is initiated, then the CAPA process, it's referred to as the corrective action and preventative action process starts, and that reporting can be initiated with the FDA. All right, but we're back now to kind of looking at this case, and we've decided that this product needs to come back and be shipped back into to the manufacturer. So we're going to go in and we're going to set the different case type that we have here. And I'm just going to show you something here real quick, which is another really neat feature that allows us to have case-specific forms. And what I mean by that is if you look here, and I just changed this form to a standard case, I'll do that very quickly, you'll notice up here on the navigation and even in my form, all of the information about the depot repair disappeared. So I'm not cluttered up with other information on this form that's not relevant to this case. But if I do need to do a depot repair, in other words, send an RMA back, suddenly it appears and it allows me to go in and start to manage the things that I need to do to initiate a depot repair. And in this case, I also recognize that what I need to do is I need to send a replacement out. This customer can't operate without this piece of equipment. So the first thing I'm going to do is create an order here. This order is going to go and requisition a new micro drive from our inventory, send that out to the customer at no charge, and replace that micro drive. And as it does that, the status on the case is going to get updated. So maybe we're researching or we're waiting for details, but ultimately what's going to happen is we're going to send instructions to the customer on the RMA. And the way that we do that is we go up and we set up what's called an RMA traveler. And an RMA traveler is basically that documentation that, when you send your cell phone into Verizon and they send you back a new phone with the packing slip and the UPS shipping label and all the information about how to replace your phone. That's exactly what this RMA traveler is, and in fact it specifies where should that micro drive be sent back. So I click on the RMA and it has a whole lot of information that's required by the manufacturer to know that they receive the right parts with the right serial number, where it's going to come into the San Ramon facility, what type of an RMA it is. We're going to repair it rather than destroy it or replace it, and some of the dates and other information to be able to track this material as it comes back. So once that's done and we save this case, all of this information on the RMA is automatically emailed to the customer, including the shipping label, so that the customer can be able to return those parts, and the status of the case is automatically updated to shipped from the customer. So now we're waiting for those parts to come and arrive. Once those parts are received at the depot or at the repair center, they receive those into the repair center because they're looking for this RMA as a result of a work order that was automatically created. And a work order is basically an order that's sitting in the depot looking for parts to arrive, and it says we're looking for the parts that are going to come in on RMA 5009, and when that RMA comes in, they're able to set the status of this and say that it's in progress. So they save and close that, and then that will automatically go and update the case to be able to say it's been received at the depot. So now we're working those through this work order. We do the repair, and the depot returns those parts back out to the customer, and the status of the case has been returned to customer. And of course, we can run, now dashboards and understand where this case is, how many of these depot repair cases have been returned to customer. And we're going to wait now 7 days before we call the customer to make sure they've received the parts that have been repaired and close this case out. So now the customer service rep is going to get a notification when they come in the morning and look at their cases to say, yep, I've got a case here. The parts have been returned back to the customer. It's time for me to call Christine and make sure she got those parts and that she's happy. If she is, then the customer service rep can put some notes in here. And hit this resolve button right here, and it will resolve this case and take it out of the case management queue. So that's the process for managing materials that need to come back to the manufacturer. The second case that we talked about is that it's possible that this micro drive is too big to ship back, and we need to actually send a field service technician out. So I'll just show you that very quickly as well. And again, notice the depot repair part is going to disappear here when I change the case type to field service. So I do that, and now I get all of the information here around field service. So I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit, open up the field service area, and you can see that there are a number of different fields here around serviceable, what are called serviceable items, service activities, and spare parts. So I'm going to go and save and close this one. I'm going to go actually open up a case now that already has some of that information filled out for this field service. So just like we did before, we can understand the origin of the case. In this case, it came in through an email. It's a field service case, and we have some information here that's specific about this item. You can see we're still looking at the micro drive, and we understand it is under warranty. But on some of these larger pieces of equipment, if you think about it like a car, for example, this field technician kind of needs to get a direction as to what we think is the problem. And that's what we refer to as these serviceable items. So in the case of a car, it might be a transmission, it might be the engine, it might be the electrical system. But rather than listing every single part number, which are the hundreds of thousands of parts that go into an automobile or a large piece of equipment, you kind of want to group them into serviceable items. And so in this case, we can start to identify the various serviceable items that might exist for this product. And we can list those here from the bill of materials, and there might be, 4 or 5 different kind of major components: a handpiece, a metal housing, a motor unit that we can determine is the serviceable item that we're going to focus on. Once that happens, then we need to go in and we need to schedule the field service technician. So I'm going to go in here, and I think I'm just going to look at this one right here. So if you take a look at this, so what this does, this is kind of a cool tool that allows us to go in and set up the kind of on-site repair that needs to happen. But one of the great things that it does is it allows me to go in and set up not only individuals with certain skill sets, but it also allows me to schedule equipment. And so I can go in and say, what type of a repair is it? What is it? Which case is it regarding? Who is the contact? And this is the time and date that the service was scheduled for. Now, one of the neat things is the automation that can happen around scheduling. So if once I set this up, I can actually go out and do the schedule. So I'm going to just show you real quickly how that works. I'm going to go out and set up the schedule, and you can see that by identifying the customer and then just clicking on the resources, I get this little assistant over here that tells me some guidance on what I need to do to be able to execute this type of a repair. And basically what it says is I need to get 2 certified technicians from this list. So these are all the people that have the right skills to be able to go out and do this repair. So I need to pick 2 of them, and you can see I've picked Scott and Christine. But I also need a tool. I need to have this truck that's got this special tool on it, and so I have to reserve the truck as well. And the system already knows that, and it will know about the availability of these items. So then I tell the system when do I want to have it done. I can get a range of times. And when I do that, I go out and hit available times, and it will go out and it will actually schedule this for the available times. I confirm that with the customer. In this case, you can see it was for June 21st, 2013. So when that's done, both Scott and Christine will get an appointment put on their calendar, and it will send them an email that says you've just been scheduled for an on-site repair at Armanino on the 21st of June. It's going to take you about an hour and a half to do that, and you need to be there at 1 p.m. So all of the field service activity is fully automated with Microsoft CRM. Now there's one last thing that needs to happen, and that is the field service technician is responsible for looking at their repairs and ensuring that they have the spare parts or the replacement parts in their truck or their van to be able to do that. And so CRM supports the ability to go and requisition those spare parts from your inventory back in your ERP system, and allows to make sure that those parts that you need are sent to the proper address. So you can put the address there where you want the part shipped. You can see what the part number is that you want to have shipped. Looks like Christine's requesting 2 of these, and that if it's going to be unused, she's going to return those back into stock. And so what will happen is, as soon as we close and save this order, if you will go back over to the shipping department, and they'll pull that inventory from CRM and assign it to this case, and it'll get shipped off to Christine. On the back end, the accounting is being done to be able to know that if these parts get put into the tool in the field, that we need to take that cost and assign that to this warranty, so we can start to track the warranty cost. Finally, we have the ability to do a field service repair report right within CRM. So you can identify the device, you can have the date of service, you can confirm who did it, what repair was actually done, whether this was a chargeable item or not. If it was under warranty, it would be unchecked. If it's not under warranty, you would actually charge and be able to invoice the customer for that repair. And then you can track the actual costs. How many hours did the technician take, and whether any other expenses, whether that be mileage or lunch or other equipment that needed to be consumed in order to complete that case. So once that case has been done, again, the status of the case can be updated, whether it's in service, whether it's been rescheduled, or whether it has now been resolved. And once it's been resolved, the customer service rep can make a call to Christine and make sure that the field service technician did their job, and if so, she'll go in and confirm that with the customer, put that in the notes, and then resolve the case. So that is warranty management and product repair with Dynamics CRM, and allows us to be able to go back in and, again, as I mentioned, track all the metrics on how many open cases, what they are. The status continues to stay updated, and to be able to go in and track the products and the warranties that we have ready to expire and that need to be renewed with our customers. So with that, I'm going to open it up for any questions if there are any, and just see what we've got there. Phil, are you there?
Yes, I am. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions, please go ahead and use your instant message. You have that capability through links, so it should be in your lower left corner. Type your question into the field provided, and then just click send, and we'll be sure to address any of those questions that you may submit.
In the meantime, either if there are no questions or others, I might mention that everything that I showed you today in Dynamics CRM is all just configured of the standard CRM product. So we've kind of taken what we know manufacturers need and configured that in CRM, but there's not been any customization or software code that's been written. We've just taken the standard out of the box Microsoft CRM and added the fields and the workflows and the terminology to support manufacturers. So I think it points to the flexibility of Microsoft Dynamics CRM to support various industries, and in our case, that being manufacturing for warranty management and product repair. I might mention one other thing then, if there are no questions, and I'll tell you that that we're very excited about the future of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Microsoft has announced the release of the next major release of Dynamics CRM. It's referred to as Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2013. And it will have some really exciting new features that will include that mobility apps will be included, so that you can, in the past, in most other CRM systems, require that you buy the mobile app for your mobile phone or your iPad or your Microsoft Surface. But Microsoft is including that in the next release of Microsoft CRM 2013. And there will be a much improved user interface. And it will even support dynamic business processes, so that you can very easily set up business processes and direct your sales and your marketing and your customer service teams with kind of the best practices that you have across your organization. And so the ability to do that will be much improved with the new release. So we're excited about that. And in fact, we will be doing a webinar in a couple of months, I think in December, to give you a highlight of how that new application is looking. So hopefully you can join us then too. But with that, I think I'll conclude unless there's any other questions. All right, Phil, take it away.
All right, and Scott, you did answer that question about is it ready for 2013 online?
Yes, it will be.
Okay, will be.
It is ready to go. We've tested it and ready to go, and by the next month, when we'll have it all ready to go. So, yep.
Sounds good. All right, with that, we have no further questions pending in the queue, so we do thank you for joining us, and we do want to extend a special thanks to Scott Mangelson for his presentation and information. And thank you all for joining us. You may now disconnect from today's webcast.